I have got some alarming news regarding that bowl of brown rice. You have to hear me out through this entire video because I'm going to explain the serious difference between white rice and brown rice that you did not know. I'm Thomas DeLauer with sixpackabs.com, and I'm about to debunk one of the biggest myths that's out there today, not just in the fitness industry, but in the food world too. And that myth is that brown rice is better than white rice. We all know what white rice, we all know what brown rice is, but some of us don't realize that brown rice is literally white rice, but still with the bran husk still on it. What I want to talk about though is the fact that brown rice contains what I call an anti-nutrient. It literally has an inherent ability, a built-in mechanism to keep you from absorbing nutrients. Yeah, believe it or not, it's the same thing that happens when you eat nuts. Okay, for example, how many times have you been walking down a trail and seen animal scat that's on the ground? And you see that it still has whole nuts or whole seeds in it. That's because it has something called phytic acid. Okay, phytic acid is what allows a food to process through our body and not get digested so that it can survive the digestive system and still germinate and plant a new plant. It's a protective mechanism of the seed or of the rice. Well, that doesn't bear too well for us, okay? Because what that ends up meaning is that we're not breaking it down. These things are called phytates, and these phytates are those anti-nutrients, and they prevent us from absorbing not only the minerals that are contained in the food itself, but minerals that are around that food too. But let's talk a little bit about what this phytic acid is and why it's so bad. Phytic acid is also known as inositol hexaphosphate, and that's essentially a fancy way of saying something that has 6 phosphate groups attached to it. Okay, what happens in science when you have 6 phosphate groups like that is it means that something is heavily charged. Okay, it has a lot of electrical charge to it, which means when you consume it, it does this thing called chelation. It chelates things. And I know I'm getting scientific for you, but hear me out because it's all going to make sense. That chelation process binds to minerals. It binds to iron. It binds to magnesium. It binds to the important attributes of the food you're eating and renders them so that you can't digest them. Meaning you are eating worthless food, food that is making it so that the other food you're eating is hurting you even more. Now, when a piece of rice goes through the milling process, it goes from brown rice into white rice, removing the husk. Now, believe it or not, the husk contains about 95% of the phytic acid. So believe it or not, when you consume that white rice, you're getting a healthier version because you don't have the brown rice husk. You don't have the bran husk that has all the phytic acid. Therefore, you're absorbing it and you're getting the minerals. You're getting the iron, you're getting the phosphorus, you're getting the magnesium. All of these that play a role when it comes to building muscle. So how does eating brown rice potentially keep you from building muscle? Well, I want to talk about one mineral in particular, and that's zinc. You've all heard of zinc, right? It helps your testosterone levels, it helps you build muscle, it helps your libido, it helps you be a man if you're a man. Newsflash, again, if we have this phytic acid in our body, it's chelating the zinc. That zinc is a metal, it's a mineral. So it's chelating it, rendering it useless, meaning you don't get that synthesization to testosterone that you would ordinarily get. Okay, so that's gonna hinder your gains. And then we look at one like magnesium. Magnesium is extremely important when it comes to muscle contraction. You wanna get the best pump in the gym, you wanna be able to work out, you wanna be able to maintain your stamina in the gym, and do you wanna be able to sleep at night? Well, then you need magnesium. And again, if you're not absorbing magnesium because pesky old brown rice is coming on in and chelating it, then do the math, you're not gonna feel very good. Now there's gonna be a lot of people watching this video, they're gonna say, well, what about the glycemic index, okay? The fact that brown rice is lower glycemic index and it's digested over a longer period of time, making it healthier for those that are diabetic or making it healthier for those that are watching their blood sugar or trying to control carbs. Okay, there's some truth to that. You see, the GI index is all about how slow or how fast the carbohydrate is digested. But I want to throw a different angle at you. And this is something that's propelled me from the early stages of my fitness career to really getting to the top of the food chain when it comes to being in magazines and whatnot, is understanding this principle. So listen very carefully. Insulin spikes and carb and blood sugar spikes that go up and down really fast are not always bad. You want to know why? Because you can control them better. Because you know when your spike is and you know when it falls, versus having a long spike of insulin, making it so that you never really know when you're spiking your insulin or having a blood sugar spike or not. I hope that that makes sense, because when it all comes down to it, we're just trying to understand the right times to eat and the right times to not eat. And brown rice is essentially allowing our bodies to feel like we're fed all the time, which may be good for reducing your calories, but it's not always good for spiking the insulin and getting the right kind of muscle gains that you want. So in short, what can you take away from this video? When should you eat white rice and when should you eat brown rice? Well, in my opinion, eating white rice is great if you're trying to put on some muscle while staying lean. Okay, brown rice is good if you're overall just trying to lose weight. If you're not really worried about muscle, you're not really worried about that, you're just trying to drop a lot of weight. In that case, brown rice is better because it satiates you and it still has the compounds to allow you to have a nice low glycemic load. So I know this video was a little bit different. It wasn't the typical muscle building or fat loss video, but it threw some knowledge at you that you probably didn't know. So as always, make sure you're keeping it locked in here with sixpackabs.com. And again, if you have any questions that you want answered, whether it's through a video or whether it's through a live stream, make sure you let us know so that we can make sure we get on it. I'll see you in the next video.